Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. For those who have been here, welcome back to the channel, and for those who are new, welcome to the channel. Today we are going to talk about Xavi Hernandez, who was presented on Monday as the new Barcelona coach, and yesterday he had his first training session. Today he had the second one, and today we are going to talk about the 10 rules implemented by Xavi Hernandez into the dressing room for the club to run properly and function and normally under normal circumstances, because we know that without discipline, success is not a guarantee. We saw Xavi during his presentation. He was very happy. He was very excited. I think he knows that there is a very great job that is awaiting him, and we have to be very patient with Xavi Hernandez. He's a legend of this club. We don't want him to be a disaster. We don't want him to fail. All of us, we are wishing him success. So we need to be very patient. We remember Jurgen Klopp when he arrived at Liverpool. He said, "Let them give him 4 years for him to win the Premier League," and he actually did it. He actually did it, and he even did better by winning the Champions League. By the way, before winning the Premier League, and the year he won the Champions League, he was 1 point behind Manchester City in the Premier League. So we have to be very patient with Xavi Hernandez. We know that we need results, but he has to take back the squad from scratch and build a very strong team, a competitive team. Even if he doesn't win trophy in the first year, let us give him 2 years, 2.5 years. Be very patient. So we are going to start with the first point, which states that the players will be reaching 1 hour 30 minutes before training session begin. That is, it will be a way or a means for the coach or the staff to be talking with the players if there is any personal issue, if there are any injuries, if there are any matters that arise, or even to make some physical preparation in the gym. We know that we have so many players that are injured right now, and it might be due to lack of physical preparation. So the players will be coming 1 hour 30 minutes before the training session begin. It might be due to more physical preparation in the gym, or even personal talks. So we're moving to the second point, which states that the coaching staff will be arriving 2 hours before the training session starts. So we see right here that the coaching staff will be arriving 30 minutes before the players. This can be to prepare the ground for the players before they arrive to start the training session. The third point states that the first team players will have to take lunch in the Blaugrana facilities to have a decent diet by the club cooks. So we know that to be injury free, you need to have a good physical preparation. You need to have a balanced diet, enough sleeping time. All those things make up a strong player, physically apt to be injury free. So we also know that when people take a meal together, it really strengthens the bonds between them. So right here, Xavi is trying to create a really solid group, a bond between the players. Let them live like a family. Let them be one, because we know that off the pitch, if they form a bond and they are united as a team, we know that in the field they'll perform better, and they'll be able to have automatism between them. So we will be moving to the fourth point, which states that fines or taxes which be applied will be applied to any misbehavior from the players. So we have already seen that from many other clubs, from many other coaches. I remember Frank Lampard also implemented this rule when he became the Chelsea manager. So the fifth point will be more fines will be applied to more misbehaving attitudes in an exponential fashion, which means right here it means that if you are late for the first time, you pay, for example, let's say $100. If you are late for the second time, you will not pay $100 again. You will pay like $200, because it will be your second misbehavior, and so on and so forth. So let's move to the sixth point, which says that it is forbidden to be home late, that is after midnight, 24 hours before the game. So this shows that Xavi is trying to make the players to be professional, as in to take their professional life before anything else. That is, their life out of the field should not be more important than their life in the field. That is 24 hours before a game, they should not come home late. This is for the players to arrive in the best possible conditions in the field to avoid lack of focus, fatigue, and even to have less injury, because we know that if you don't sleep well, if you don't train well, if you drank alcohol, you will not be in the best possible conditions to start a game. So let's go to the 7 point. Start talking about starting a game. The 7 point states that players will play like the train. So we are trying to see here that Xavi is trying to bring in meritocracy. So this is a point. This is a very important point, because it takes us back to people who are doubting about if Xavi will be able to bench his former teammates. But here, if Xavi was not ready or apt to bench his former teammate, or was not ready to have enough guts to bench his former teammate, I'm not sure that he could have been putting this into the rules. So I think that Xavi putting this into the rules is trying to ring an alarm into our ears for us to know that he will be ready to bench any player who does not train normally, who does not train properly, or who does not give his all compared to other players. So here we are going to go with meritocracy, which is something that we have been crying, we have been asking for many years now. Like for example, there are players like Griezmann who were being put on the field, or who were always in the starting 11 because of their salary, or because of their transfer fee, not because they were really giving their best in the field compared to other players. So if players like Balde are training in best than or better than Alba, they will be going into the starting lineup. Or even Demi, who he has been put on the sidelines recently, but I think that if he shows in the training ground that he is better than Dembele, he will be in the starting lineup. Even Ricky Puig, who has been on the blacklist of Ronald Koeman, I think that people mostly think that the starting midfield will be Busquets, De Jong, Pedri, or even Nico, Busquets, and De Jong. But if Ricky Puig shows in the training ground that he is better than Nico, Pedri, or even Gavi, or even De Jong and Busquets, I think that Ricky Puig will be a starter. So let's go to the 8 point, which is saying that the coaching staff will go forth to control extra sporting activities for the players. That is, they will be controlling if players what players do out of the field, if they really follow a balanced diet, if they make anything that will let them not to be 100% ready for the game. The coaching staff will be controlling extra sports activities of the players. So let's move to the 9 point. The 9 point, which says that it is prohibited risk activities. Risk activities are prohibited, meaning that if a player, maybe he has passion for basketball, or even surf, or even riding bikes, that will be prohibited, because those are activities that can make you have injuries out of the field. So let's move to the 10 and the last point, which states that players, first team players, or even players as a whole, are supposed to show example. And even fans, when they are in the stadium, they should be more responsible, they should be decent, they should have a decent attitude even out of the field. Like for example, we had the case of Ronald Koeman's car, who was being kicked by fans after the Clasico. So Xavi is telling the fans and the players to have a decent attitude. We don't want to see such behaviors that will make the club to have a bad image of the fans, or even of the players. So these are the 10 points that Xavi tried to raise up to explain to the players, and I think that they all of them, they were very happy to see Xavi as their coach. We saw Ousmane Dembele. He was very happy to meet with Xavi after what Xavi said in an interview, in a press conference, when he was interviewed and he was asked if he wanted to Dembele to renew his contract, and he said something very interesting, that Dembele, when he's 100%, he can be the best player at his position in the world. So I think that any player who doesn't comply to these rules will just be put aside. So we saw what Pep did when he arrived to the club. He saw that players like Deco, like Ronaldinho, they were not very focused into training. They did their life. Ronaldinho, who was going out very late, Deco, who was old and was not ready to really listen to everything that Pep Guardiola had to say. He had to put them aside, ask the club to sell them, whereas they were very great and important players of the squad, but behind he won 6 trophies in 1 year. That was very it was very outstanding. I don't think any club has done that. And we even saw Zlatan Ibrahimovic in 2010. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, he was not also ready to listen to everything that Pep has to say. We know that in between Zlatan and Pep, things did not go very well. So Pep had to ask the club to sell Ibrahimovic. And even Luis Enrique did the same with Jordi Alba. We remember, I think it was in 2016, 2017, there was a time where Jordi Alba was not an undisputable starter because he was not taking serious what Lucho was saying to the dressing room. We saw today the players were very focused, they were serious, and they were happy to train. So I think that they are really taking into consideration what Xavi is saying to them. And since Xavi said that all the players, whether you look the young Lenglet, Ricky Puig, Umtiti, Demi, all the players of the squad will start from zero. Let him see from himself who are the players who need or who merit to be cast aside or be considered in his plans. So I think all the players are very happy to give their best to show that they merit to be in the starting 11 and in the Barcelona squad. So this marks the end of our video. Thank you very much. If you are new, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share the video. If you like my content, don't forget to give it a like, and we see you soon. God bless us all. Thank you.